Hey there, channel. I've had to do a video tonight for a shout out for my best friend out of a whole entire channel, my old mate Casey. So he's requested that I do a shout out for him. So tonight I've got to do a fat cook for him again. So we're doing barbecue plum glazed American spare ribs. Now these were a bloody bargain. So as per usual, first is first. Heat's going, mat's clean. And we're going to use a fresh can of Spanish extra virgin olive oil. So what do you usually say? Say, fuck this, let's fucking flame her up. Woohoo! So we get that nice bit of oil. We're going to indirect heat so we don't burn them. The burners are up. I'm going to set them down low. I'll chuck the meat on and let's see how she goes. So we just unwrapped the meat. So yeah, we've got American spare ribs here. So this actually looks quite fucking gourmet, to be honest. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna whack these on the barbecue. Nice and oily. So I think we're gonna get this whole rack. Look at that for a rack of meat. Yummy. Casey, you're gonna love this, but you're not here to eat it. But if you visualize this and you get your taste buds going, you'd probably just about eat the plastic. So I'm going to let that sizzle away for a bit. And I'm going to chuck some extra spices and some extra oil on that. So we'll get the old Spanish back out. Oh, Spanish extra virgin olive oil. Oh, yum yum. Bit of a top coat. Bit more flamage. Yep, sizzle that up. Now, like I said, we're going to indirect heat, so it's going to be nice and low and slow. But I'm going to go a little bit different on this one. Because actually, I acquired a liking for the taste of this stuff here, this Italian herb mix. So it's going to get us a nice drizzle on top of the marinade. This stuff actually is pretty good when you're chucking on your skewers and anything like that. Actually comes up beautiful. It's a very nice marinade, or spice or herb. Made by Hoyts. Now that's not Hoyts the cinema. That's Hoyts since 1960, so they've been ripping up weeds and using mulch and all that kind of shit for meats and curries and pastas and whatever. Spaghetti, lasagnas. Yeah, actually tastes quite good on any kind of meat. So what we're going to do on this one here, we're going to get that. We're going to rotate. We're going to rotate. Get a nice flip. And we'll see how we go. Put the camera back on for you guys when it's coming up nice and golden. Alright, so we had a bit of a rest here. She's Ziggy's sitting about 150 degrees in direct heat. So I've given it the old flip. So that is the back portion of the ribs. I think that, honestly, in my opinion, that needs some Spanish oils. So we're gonna flame her up. Yeah, flame you, bitch. Casey, this is your shout out video you've always requested, so look at that. What a yummy meat. Look at that oil. Nice and fat. Oh, we nearly dropped it. So as you can see, we've got the marinade. Now the thing is, those Italian herb mixes, they get a little bit burnt on the grill, so it's got to look a bit scalish, but it's come up pretty bloody well, in my opinion. So it's got to let her sizzle for a bit longer, indirect heat, probably about 5 to 10 minutes, around about 150, 180. I'll flip it probably 2 to 3 more times on each side, then I'll let it rest, and then yeah, gonna be time for the big eat, the unravel, the yum yum. I'll tune back in very soon. Look at that, yum yum. Gum gum. Right, so it's been about 5 minutes now. So now we're sitting at about roughly 170 degrees. So I'm going to give her just a quick look, quick flip. It's actually come up nice and white. So the way you can tell with your ribs, for those who don't know how to cook these, is generally when the bone is turning white. So these are actually not far from being done. So I'm going to give these a bit more, I'm going to give these a spin around. Just rotating the oils. I'm going to give it a flip. Because even by saying that the bone's white, the actual meat still might be a little bit pink. But if you can see the actual bone like that being nice and white, and the meat slowly becoming white, then it's not far from being done. So it all depends on the person who eats the meat. With pork, generally try and keep it white, but don't have it too dry. But yeah, as I said, with the bone, as long as the bone's becoming white, that's when it's pretty good to eat. So there's a little white there, but there's still a little bit of pink there and there. So I'm just gonna let it rest on the top for a little bit. Then I'll flip it back over for probably about another 2 more minutes. I'll crank the heat right up. Then it'll be ready for the eat. So Casey, you would actually devour the whole lot in one eat. Not just the meat, you'd actually eat the bones as well. It's looking quite yummy. Rightio, so I think it's about time to nearly take these buckers off. Alright, so it's been in the belly for a while. So the pink there is actually the marinade, that's not blood. But as you can see, pink, the pork, sorry, not pink. the pink is the marinade. So I'm gonna flip it up. It actually looks fucking gourmet. So, one more time on the back. Then I'll take them off. And Casey, if you have these, you'd rub these all over your nice belly. Really good. So with this this marinade, because when it turns black like that, you can brush it off, but a little bit of burnt spices. Always adds a bit of character to your meat. If you don't eat your meat, you won't have any pudding. Don't eat your meat if you don't eat your pudding. Right, so that's about time. Bumped up the heat. We're sitting just over 200 degrees. So this is the ending result. Nice and white ribs with a bit of the golden glaze. I'm not going to flame this back up because I don't want to make it too much oil on there. Yeah, perfect back on that, as you can see. And that black stuff there, that's just the excess. That's just excess bloody wheat. So we're going to take this off now and let it settle. And this will be ready to eat within probably roughly about 10 minutes, give or take. And that is the ribs. So Casey, this was a special video done for you. You told me that I had to do one, so I done ribs. And they look quite delish. So I will show you roughly what the middle of the meat looks like. Sorry, mind the coughing. I've got a little bit of a paint high at the shed today. Oh, shit. I'd usually use a knife, but I haven't got a knife out here at the moment, so, yeah. So, I'm going to try and carve into this. Still quite hot, still quite juicy. And as most viewers would probably say, oh, did you take the membrane out? No, I didn't take the membrane out. I don't think it had one on the back of it. It could, but if it does, well, that's going to be my problem later. Anyhow, if this doesn't keep sticking to the paper towel. As you can see right there, perfectly cooked pork. So anyhow guys, I'm going to end this video, and that is a beef spare rib cook up on D's Ziggy 3. Thanks for viewing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.